All right, I'd like to run a quick scenario by you guys, and you tell me what you think and how you would have handled it if you're from in the industry like I am. Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm a general sales manager, and I've been in the auto industry for 15 years. Let's get into it. So we have a customer that comes in. They are a previous customer of the dealership and a previous lease customer. So they are absolute sweethearts. They're an older couple. They retired to the area here in Pennsylvania from Long Island. They love our service department, but there has admittedly been a lot of employee and management change at the dealership in the last year and a half, 2 years. So they are seeing a lot of fresh faces on the sales side of things. Not a problem at all. They get set up with Zach. He does a great job, really cares about his customers. And these folks, if I'm being honest, they're the type where, you'll know what I mean when I say they just remind you of everybody's grandparents. They're immediately trusting and they're immediately kind-hearted. They're asking myself and Zach's opinion. And, oh, honey, what would you do? What do you think is a good idea for us? Now, that's scary. That can be dangerous to give that kind of, or to ask for that level of assistance from somebody that you pretty much just met. There are a lot of car dealerships where their advice is going to be whatever puts the most money in their pocket and is best for them, not the customer. I don't do things like that. I've been in business for too long, and our store and auto group has been in business for too long to get to where we were by ripping people off. We don't do it. So, but it is very endearing, and it makes you feel, if you're in sales, you probably know what I mean. It makes you feel really good to have somebody that trusts you to the point where they're asking your opinion. What would you do if it was your mother shopping for a car, type of thing. So they were absolute sweethearts. We showed them the car. We showed them some payments. They had a payment goal to get to. We explained how they could get there. We ended up looking at 26s, 25s, and I wanted to, even if I knew it was not the vehicle that was going to be the best payment, I wanted to show it to them. That way I could show that we're doing our due diligence here. So I would say, hey, look, that's not going to be what you want to lease from a payment standpoint, but let me show you what a 26 looks like. So you can see it in black and white. Oh yeah, Jeff, you're right. Okay, thanks for taking the time to explain it though. So we ended up on a service loaner with about 4,400 miles on a 2025. They say they want to take some time to think about it. We say absolutely no problem at all. Do bear in mind you are in the dealership within the last 2 days of the month and the programs change. I said, folks, you will not hear any arm twisting from me. You can sit on this and think about it for the next week, 2 weeks, months, whatever, but I guarantee none of the pricing because I don't know what the future holds when it comes to lease programs here. And their lease was up. They had made their last payment. They were ready to be done with it. So they said, no, we'll probably make a decision in the next day or two. Now, here's the wrinkle. They have a son who still lives in Long Island. And he's being a little bit of a hammerhead, if I'm being honest. And I get it. I don't fault him for it. He is trying to do what's best for his mom and dad, who are miles and miles and hours away. And he doesn't know us from Adam. So for all he knows, we are the type of dealership that's going to take advantage of them. So he starts getting on them and kind of giving them a hard time about, oh, you don't want to buy that, you don't want to do that, no, come get one up here, they're leasing. We ended up with a payment of $400 a month with $400 down, so that includes all taxes, fees, and everything. That's just their first month's payment, and then they're on to the next 38 after that. He's, no, we got deals up here. I see dealerships where they advertise them for $330 a month. I said, yeah, absolutely. They brought that to my attention. I said, you bet, I advertise them for that too. But that might be with lease loyalty, which you may not qualify for. That's for 7,500 miles a year, you're asking for 10. That's before taxes and tags. I'm too close to the Maryland border to advertise PA tags because I do so many Maryland and out-of-state deals. So I have to advertise in a way that makes sense, and every dealership on the planet does it. You just see the base payment, and typically it requires a chunk of money down. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. We'll tell her son. Well, they go home, and their son, after talking to him, still tells them, don't buy that car. That's a terrible idea. It's a 2025. It's a used car. It's a service loaner with 4,000 miles on it. It's a used car. In the state of Pennsylvania, it's not. We never titled it. We never depreciated it. It was never registered. But I do agree that it is worth less than a 2026, which is why there's almost $10,000 coming off on this lease. So yes, absolutely. It's not a used car, but you're right, it's not valued. I don't value it the same as a 2026. That's why we're here. So the customers say, you know what? Forget our son. He's not the one paying the bills. We'll take the 25. So they come in and do it, let the son know, and he lays into them because they did 10,000 miles a year. And it just sounds like in general, he's giving them a little bit of a hard time, acting like they're making stupid, rash decisions. At the end of the day, I told the folks, hey, listen, tell your son to call me. I'll talk to him. He can see in a short period of time that I'm genuine, that I mean what I say. This is not going to be a problem. No, Jeff, we don't want to put you through that. I was like, listen, folks, I'd rather have him yell at me than you. Like, this is what I've trained for. Being yelled at by people doesn't even faze me anymore. But they said, no. I said, look, I'm going to look into a couple things. We'll talk again on Monday, and we can see if you can make your son feel comfortable from there. But what he's asking for now is to recontract the deal. He says 10,000 miles a year is too many miles for them. He wants them doing 7,500 miles. But with e-contracting, we're already contracted, and Stellantis is going to charge us a fee to go back and unwind the deal to recontract it. I told them that and said, hey, you're going to have to pay a fee if you want to do that. It's totally your decision. I'm not going to talk you into it or out of it. But the weird thing is, they then told me that their son, I told them the payment only goes down $6 a month. They said they're not worried about the payments. Their son told them their insurance would go down if they leased for a lesser term. I'm going to have them double check with their insurance agent, because when we call and verify insurance and tell them it's a lease, they don't ask for how many miles a year the lease is for. And I've never heard of any insurance discount for leasing a vehicle at a certain term. I could see maybe if you annually don't drive much, there might be some type of discount for that. But quite frankly, if you lease a car for 7,500 miles, you could drive 15,000 miles a year, and then you'll just have to pay over mileage. So your lease term has no impact on your insurance. And because these folks are so sweet, I'm happy to run around, do the legwork, and get the proof that they can take to their son, because he's being a little bit of a tool about it. So drop in the comments, would you deal with all this runaround when it's mind you, it's the last day of the month and I'm trying to sell deals and I'm on the phone with these folks. Like I said, they're just incredibly nice people, so I want them to not be stressed about their son getting on their case. But what would you do? Would you put them off till the following month? Would you help them on the spot? Or would you tell their son to kick rocks? Because that's kind of what I want to do soon here. I feel like we're moving towards that point where I'm going to tell them to get their son on the line with me, and I'll set them straight. But you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar. And at the end of the day, they're great customers and they love us, and that's all that matters to me.